Let me ask you something. When was the last time you said yes to something you didn't actually want to do? Maybe it was staying late at work when you were already drowning in tasks. Or agreeing to that dinner with a friend when you just wanted to curl up with a book. How did you feel afterward? Resentful? Exhausted? Like you were carrying the weight of the world. And it wasn't even your weight to carry? We've all been there. We say yes because we want to help, to avoid conflict, or maybe because we're worried people will think less of us if we say no. But here's the kicker. Every time we say yes when we mean no, we're actually saying no to ourselves. Our priorities, our peace, our happiness. And the cost of that? It's huge. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, yeah, I know I should say no more often, let's dig deeper. Why is it so hard? It's not just about the fear of disappointing others. It's because we've been conditioned to believe that saying no is selfish, rude, or even lazy. Somewhere along the way, no became this big, scary monster lurking in the corner of our vocabulary. But here's the truth. Saying no isn't about pushing people away or being unkind. It's about boundaries. It's about making room in your life for what truly matters. It's about respecting your time, energy, and mental health. Let me tell you a story. There's this woman. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah is the quintessential yes person. PTA meetings? Yes. Helping her neighbor move furniture? Yes. Volunteering for an extra project at work, even though her plate is already full? You guessed a yes. But one day, Sarah found herself sitting in her car, crying because she was late to pick up her kids from soccer practice. Why? Because she'd been stuck helping a coworker solve a problem they probably could have figured out themselves. She felt like she was failing everywhere, at work, at home, with her friends. And yet every time someone asked for something, yes spilled out of her mouth like a reflex she couldn't control. Here's the thing, Sarah didn't just feel overworked. She felt invisible, like her needs didn't matter. And that's the sneaky part about this yes everything habit. It chips away at your self-worth. The more you say yes to things you don't want to do, the more you tell yourself that other people's priorities matter more than your own. Ouch, right? But there's good news. Saying no is a skill, and like any skill, it can be learned. The secret? It starts with a mindset shift. First, let's debunk the biggest myth about saying no, that it's selfish. Imagine this. You're on a plane and the oxygen masks drop. What's the first thing they tell you to do? Put on your own mask before helping others. Why? Because if you pass out, you can't help anyone else. Life works the same way. If you're constantly running on empty, saying yes to everything, you won't have anything left for the people and things that truly matter. Saying no is like putting on your oxygen mask. It's not selfish, it's survival. Now, here's where the magic happens. Saying no doesn't have to be harsh or confrontational. It can be kind, even graceful. One of my favorite techniques is what I call the positive no. It's a three-part formula. 1. Acknowledge the request with empathy. Thank you so much for thinking of me for this project. 2. Say no clearly and confidently. Unfortunately, I can't take this on right now. 3. Offer an alternative if possible, but I'd be happy to connect you with someone who might be able to help. Boom. You've said no without burning bridges, and you've shown respect for yourself and the person asking. Let's talk about the guilt, though, because that's the hardest part, right? The guilt that creeps in after you've said no. Here's the thing about guilt. It's just a feeling, and feelings aren't facts. Just because you feel guilty doesn't mean you've done something wrong. In fact, feeling guilty is often a sign that you're breaking an old pattern, a pattern that wasn't serving you. Instead of letting guilt pull you back into the yes trap, recognize it as growing pains. You're not just saying no to others. You're saying yes to yourself. Still not convinced? Let's look at the science. Research shows that people who set boundaries and say no when needed are less stressed, more focused, and even more respected. Why? Because they're clear about their priorities and they follow through on their commitments. Think about it. Who do you admire more? The person who's always frazzled and overcommit? Or the one who knows their limits and sticks to them? And hey, let's sprinkle in some humor here, because life's too short to take ourselves too seriously. Imagine if you treated saying yes like a pizza order. Can you take on this extra task? Sure, and I'll have that with extra guilt, a side of resentment, and a sprinkle of burnout. thanks. Sounds ridiculous, right? But that's exactly what we're doing when we say yes to things we don't want to do. Here's your challenge. The next time someone asks you for something, pause. Just pause. You don't have to answer immediately. Give yourself the space to decide if this is something you truly want or can do. And if it's not, remember the positive no. So, let's flip the script on saying no. It's not a rejection. It's a redirection of your time, your energy, your life. Because when you start saying no to the things that don't matter, you make space for the things that do. And that's a superpower. Now go out there and flex it.